Welcome, welcome. Who's ready for therapy? Come on, guys and gals, let's do this. For those of you who don't know me, I'm LaFay with Vintage Retail Therapy, and I'm in Fallbrook, California, San Diego County, and we have a DIY studio here. So if you're local, come and play with us. Let me give you a little history, just a little background. Let's back up a minute so I can tell you about this piece behind me. It's all maple. It's really old. It was well loved by a little kid because there's like little scratchings in there. I love that. I had no place to put it, but I know that I needed to have it. So I put it in my husband's office. And here's the thing, he's got a thing for lamps. So I tucked it in a corner. It didn't look great there, but it didn't look bad there, like I wasn't mad at it, okay? And I put the cutest little crystal lamp on it, and I said, babe, what do you think? This looks really cute here. And I knew that if I could sell him on leaving it there, that would buy me some time until I can get to this makeover. Wasn't that a clever idea? So let me tell you the plan for this. We're gonna mix up some salt wash. We're gonna apply it all over. We're gonna stipple it all over. And then I think we're gonna throw some molds on there. Trimmings mold, classic elements mold, escutcheon mold. Who's a texture junkie? Come on, who's with me? After that, I think we're gonna put in some decoupage papers because why not? More is more. So this is what the inside looks like. Let's do it. So I mixed apothecary with my salt wash to a thick pancake consistency. You can determine how much texture you're gonna get by how thick you apply it. You can even let it dry and put on a second coat. And if you get some high peaks, you can kind of knock it back a bit with a palette knife. It's really cool. Okay, here comes one of the fun parts. I love decoupage paper and I love the iron-on method. So did you know that our DIY liquid patina, it's a threefer. It's a transfer gel, it's a top coat, and it's a great decoupage medium. Here's the best way to do it. Shabangy! I applied 2 coats and let them dry in between. I placed my decoupage paper over that, followed by some parchment paper. Grab your iron. You'll never look at it the same way again. Put it on a cotton setting, move it around your design. Make sure you don't keep it in one place too long. Otherwise, it might get too hot. You might burn your parchment paper. The heat, check it out. The heat from the iron reactivates the liquid patina and it sucks it up. It's like, it's perfection. So you want to trim the edges by sanding downward. Only go in one direction and do it downward. Shazam! And that's how you do it. Are you ready to throw in that third layer of texture? Let's make some molds. I'm using IOD clay and the trimmings and classic elements mold. My plan is I'm going to border the edges and cover the corners with the classic elements mold. You could actually just miter the corners, but you guys know me. More is more. We want to zhuzh it up good. It's going to be so yummy. I like to smooth the tops level with my hands, but you can always use a putty knife too, if that works better for you. So my first coat of salt wash mixed with apothecary is dry. I'm going to add my second color, which is skeleton key, and I'm going to do a dry brush technique. And I'm just kind of going over basically what it sounds like, dry brushing. You're just using a really, really dry brush. And I'm just kind of hitting the high spots. Look how yummy that is. So that salt wash is dried. We're adding a second color. We're going to add a third color. We're going to add a little bit of clear wax and a little bit of this decrepit dust. Wait until you see how amazeballs it makes it. It's pretty fun, you guys. Again, just dry brushing, no rhyme or reason. Doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, I kind of like it if it's not perfect. And then we're going to add a little bit of white. Let's throw a little bit of beadboard on there. And I'm just working off my lid. So you really don't even need that much paint. If you get a little bit too much of one color, no big whoop, just wipe it back. I think I want a little bit bit more white on top of that mold though. I really like it when it just kind of highlights it like that. Because check it out, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna add some white wax on there, some clear wax. Let it dry. And then we're gonna add some decrepit dust. So I like to use a really fine brush when I'm using the decrepit dust. It's really, really powdery, really powdery. Don't sneeze next to it. And I like to put it in the areas where it would naturally be aged. So there's no right or wrong to this. When it looks good to you, stop. If not, add more. You could add more white. You could add more green. You get to determine how much you want to crust it up, how much you want to age it. I love the dust because it really gets into those little nooks and crannies. Okay, so I gotta tell you about the freak out factor because your decoupage paper definitely needs to be sealed and it will kind of reactivate. So when you put your top coat on and you want to do 2 coats, don't overwork your top coat. But when you put your liquid patina on, I gotta tell you about the freak out factor. The first couple times it happened to me, I freaked out. And if you don't know about this, you're gonna freak out too. When you put it on, it's gonna kind of bubble. And you spent so much time getting it smooth, you're gonna wanna freak out. But don't, hang tight because when it dries, it sucks back up again. And it's super, super smooth. And it's perfect. So chill, apply lightly, don't overwork it, let it dry, put your second coat on, and don't freak out. So check it out. If you get it a little bit too dark, you can use a little bit more clear wax and just go over it, and it kind of acts as an eraser. So you can kind of lighten it, kind of tone it down, and I always just kind of mix it anyway. A little bit more clear wax on top, just to blend it all. Okay guys, let's recap. Oh, and you can find all the products that we used on this project on my website, vintageretailtherapy.com. I mixed the salt wash with my apothecary. I stippled it on. Then we did the decoupage paper with the liquid patina. And I just love the iron-on method. Tell me in the comments, have you done that method before? What were your thoughts? Afterwards, I applied my molds. I did a little bit more color. We did a little bit of dry brushing with some skeleton key and beadboard. We added clear wax. We added decrepit dust. Oh my gosh, I'm actually loving it. But I gotta tell you the end of the story. So it took about a day or two for hubby to notice that the desk was gone. What do you think will happen if I sneak it back in? Do you think he'll recognize it? Thanks for hanging out with me to the end of the video. And hey, if you're my kind of crazy, come and follow me on my YouTube channel, Vintage Retail Therapy by Mara. See you next time. Ciao for now.